Good evening. So this weekend I've been reading The Librarians by Sherry Thomas. This story follows 4 different main characters who all happen to work at this small branch library in Austin, Texas. So the first main character, Hazel, has just moved back to Austin from her home in Singapore, where she's lived for quite a few years. Like, her husband recently passed away from unnatural causes, and this whole process has caused a lot of things to come to light, like scandals and stuff that he was involved in, of which she was unaware, and it's caused not only a great deal of upheaval like socially in her life, but it's also making her question like a lot of the choices that she's made, including this one person that she fell in love with many years ago that she chose to let go, like when she was getting married. So she's now in Texas ostensibly to look after her aging grandmother, but also to look for a fresh start. Like, she just kind of wants her life to go back to normal. And her grandmother doesn't really want her to just hang around the house with her, so forced her to apply for this job at the library. So the second character, Astrid, is dealing with the fallout from a relationship. Like, she recently met someone that she was really into, that she finally felt like she could open up to about some lies, I guess, that she has been perpetuating about herself, and that she now kind of no longer really knows how to extricate herself from, even though it's making her life like more and more complicated. But just when she thought like everything was finally going well, this person ghosts her for no apparent reason, and like, she's extremely hurt by this and looking for answers, but also just kind of trying to recover from this huge like blow to her confidence and her, like, the way she thought her life and her relationship was going. Let's see, then we have Jonathan, who is also dealing with relationship issues, though in his case it's from a very serious case of guilt over something that happened between him and a classmate back when he was in school. Only this classmate is back in his life, and he doesn't really know how to iron out, I guess, their relationship, since he really wants to reconnect with this person. But at the same time, there's that guilt, like, of the pain that he caused him in the past, and he doesn't really know how to get over this and how to figure out if they still have a chance at something more. And finally, we have Sophie, like, she's in charge of this branch of the library. And she also has a very big secret concerning her and her daughter. Like, she's essentially structured like her life around keeping this secret. And as the story takes off, she gets a threatening note, I guess, that makes her worry that things may not be able to like be kept under the rug for much longer, and she's determined to prevent anything from happening, like to protect her daughter. So let's see. Things really start when the library hosts a game night, which features murder mystery games. Like, Sophie technically started it because her daughter really loves board games and doesn't really have anyone to share them with. So it was this way both of possibly reaching out to a segment of the population that may need somewhere, to meet and play games and stuff, and partly to help her daughter possibly find some friends and people to play with. But after game night, 2 people turn up dead, both of which had connections to game night and the library. And as investigations into these deaths begin, it starts to unravel like all 4 of these people's lives, because they all have secrets, and like they all have things that they're kind of trying to hide or running away from, or just in general like trying not to make their lives more complicated. So let's see. I really liked that the story focused on, like these people starting to learn to trust each other and to work together to figure out what the truth was of what was happening so that all of them can be safe, I guess. Like, I think I always like the whole group of very different people coming together to accomplish something kind of story. I also appreciate that, unlike the A Man Who Died 7 Times, which I read before this, this story has a lot of storylines, but it ties all of them off by the time you get to the end of the story. And I would probably consider all of it fairly happy ending. It was a good ending anyway, at least in my books, and that usually, well, actually, I don't know if explaining what so let's see. Something that I did not like. I originally started this story because I thought it was going to be a funny, relaxing read, since the summary described it as a quirky group of librarians working together to solve a mystery, but the story turned out to be a lot less relaxing than I was anticipating. So I said in my summary, since a lot of people have things they're hiding, there were actually a great many very tense moments in the story. So the kind of tense where, people are, let's say, breaking into other people's houses and possibly getting caught, doing things they aren't supposed to do and getting blackmailed by people. So it turned out to be a much, much more serious, I guess, story than I originally anticipated. It was good, just not the kind of story that I originally thought it was going to be.